Beyond the Gates being in reruns this week certainly makes one thing possible. It gives us more time to reflect on what we've seen so far since the Sudsers' February premiere. The hallmark of a good soap is that for every answer we get, at least 2 more questions arise. And this trope is something our Fairmont Crest faves have been quite good at, making us delirious with curiosity about only hinted-at details. While we're revisiting Leslie's exposure of Ted at his May anniversary party, how about we delve into this second installment exploring the show's unresolved queries? In this case, speaking of Leslie, who on earth is her father? Until recently, no one ever gave a second thought to any family Leslie might have, nor was it necessary to. Dana Leslie Thomas breezed into D.C. with her wigs and her... In fact, it was only in late July, as the much ballyhooed Articulettes reunion concert moved up the calendar, when Leslie finally made a most casual mention about her mother. Apparently, Mama Leslie had all of the Articulettes records, and Leslie proved to be just as much of a superfan, apparently wearing out the vinyl with her repeated listenings of albums and singles. But with the sudden influx of letters, Leslie believed to be scams and envelopes, announcing that she was entitled to a sizable inheritance, came the first sightings of roots in Leslie's family tree. For one thing, a dying woman named Peaches arrived on Leslie's doorstep, swearing that the bequeathment notifications were legit. She should know she was Leslie's mother. Except Psyche. Not only was Peaches not the woman's given name, she wasn't even... And because the girl group's lead singer, Anita Duprees, out of her guilt in facilitating Barbara's dismissal from the act before they'd even cut their first record, had tucked away bajillions of dollars for Barbara's family to reflect the royalties that Barbara would have received, the always broke Leslie was now one rich bitch. Let the spending sprees begin. One major resulting question has already begun to get lost under country club memberships and Leslie's attempt to buy the mansion across the way from the Duprees, though many of you have not allowed that blank to disappear completely. And that is, who on earth is Leslie's father? All we know about the circumstances of Leslie's conception is that Barbara was extremely depressed at the time about her ejection from the Articulettes, and that Barbara so adamantly didn't want a child that she approached Peaches to raise it, under the condition that Peaches never get back in touch with her or tell Leslie who her natural mother was. Now, if Barbara's mental state was that bad, the odds that she was either in or pursued a relationship with a man plummet significantly. It seems more like Barbara might have had sex as a coping mechanism to make herself feel better, albeit temporarily. Still, severe depression and sex are not 2 things that usually go together. Could it be that Barbara was already pregnant when she was forced out of the Articulettes, and that condition added to her melancholy? We know that Dante Green was the manager of the group, and that he was the one who called for Barbara's removal. We also know that, for as much as they fuss and fight, remaining Articulettes, Anita, Sharon, and Tracy all agree that Dante was the devil incarnate. Could Dante have impregnated Barbara? Maybe even raped her? That would certainly have contributed to Barbara's despair. Dante could have gotten rid of her over her carrying his child, with his claims that her voice wasn't up to par only an excuse, and had to have gotten her deviousness from somewhere. From what little we've heard about Barbara, it doesn't seem to have come from her. Lots of you have suggested that Vernon Duprees fathered Leslie. That doesn't seem as likely, at least not from what the former senator has told us. Vernon met Anita after the Articulettes were already big, and by that point, Barbara was long gone from the group. Also, when Anita told Vernon how she felt her actions had led to Barbara killing herself, Vernon said he had never known Barbara. Sure, it's a soap. Vernon could have lied about all of that. But a senator, or even an up-and-coming senator whose family was based in Maryland, somehow knowing a poverty-stricken girl in the projects of Chicago well enough to get her pregnant? Plus, while we've seen that Vernon is able to coldly get down to business, the otherwise kindly grandfather type doesn't seem capable of that kind of deception. From what little info we have, the mostly likely man to be Leslie's father is Dante Green. But given all the doors left open, the possibilities are endless. Could Bill's more and more mentioned scumbag of a dad also have sired Leslie, making the enemies half-siblings? Who do you think Leslie's father is? Put all your paternity postulations in the comments below. Hey babes, welcome back to Gossip Delight. It's your girl Daisy, and trust me, today's tea is scorching, steamy, and absolutely unmissable. Buckle up because we're diving straight into the drama. With Beyond the Gates in reruns this week, it's a good time to take a step back and mentally catch up on everything we've seen in Fairmont Crest and beyond. As we take in new story development from 24 regular characters, and just as so, how about we bring some of them to the forefront while we're on a break and give them the oxygen they deserve? Let's start this series of hiatus articles with a missing answer. Many of us are dying to get our soapy hands on. How does Randy know Haley? They were soap characters who seemingly traveled in different circles. Randy Parker was the guy from the bad neighborhood who positioned himself as the reluctant right-hand man to unscrupulous casino owner Joey Armstrong. Haley Lawson was the orphaned girl who came up as a paralegal at the law offices of Bill Hamilton E. Sprague, and ended up marrying into the gated community of Fairmont Crest, despite Bill being married to Danny when they met. So there's no reason that the orbits of Haley and Randy should intersect, right? Right? So we thought. When Haley announced that she was having Bill's baby, there was already enough suspicion that Haley was faking her pregnancy, at least if you listen to Danny, and actually Ashley, who was scratching her head over the ultrasound Haley bragged about that she didn't have. Haley had already been seen checking on an unknown person by phone, which indicated that she gave a hoot about her caller. But then Haley tripped over a box, and though Haley insisted to Bill that she was fine, he insisted even more that she see a doctor and get a fresh ultrasound, since he wasn't there for the first one. What's a girl to do? If you're Haley, you do another phoner with your enigmatic someone and ask them for help. When we next saw Haley, she found Danny at Uptown and publicly antagonized the hell out of her, and just as publicly doubled over, screaming in pain. Haley went to the ladies' room and emerged bloody, refusing to let the surprisingly worried Danny take her to the hospital. The new Mrs. Hamilton chose a random stranger to be her ride, except he wasn't so random. He was Randy, who was supposed to be on the run from Joey after botching Kenneth's murder and making off with $10,000 of Armstrong's money. Haley's secret stud introduced himself as Sammy, though Danny had the distinct impression she had seen him before. And we know he was Randy because Doug ran into him at Orphe Jean's soon after and confirmed it. Haley's run-in with Randy could have been dismissed as a one-off, but they were later seen together right there in Bill's home. So it's clear that Ms. Lawson Hamilton and Mr. Parker know each other. But how? When Randy choked about offing Kenneth, Joey threatened to whack Randy's ex-wife and son. Could Haley be Randy's former lady, and could they have a child together? Or perhaps Randy and Haley are brother and sister. Haley has only said she had no— It could even be that Randy was the child of whoever raised Haley, so they could be siblings in a non-blood way. Other possibilities abound. Maybe Haley and Randy never exchanged vows, but they could have been sweethearts for a time on any number of levels. Perhaps Haley comes from the same disenfranchised area Randy does. If they're friends from those days, could that mean that Haley also knows Randy's BFF, Doug McBride? Did Randy and Haley go to school together? Or is there some other way they know each other that doesn't fit into any of these scenarios? No matter how these two are connected, there's caring there, because Haley was concerned about Randy having gone AWOL when they were on the phone together. What do you think is the missing link between Randy and Haley? Share your theories in the comments below. Bonus question: was Haley ever actually pregnant? She told Naomi she had been, but we only have her word for it, and she was digging herself out from underneath Naomi's questions about her not ultrasound at the time, besides. Do you think Haley simply staged the miscarriage she'd already had, with Randy's help? Come back tomorrow as Soap Central explores another unanswered question about Beyond the Gates. If you're sitting on the edge of your seat because of the way Beyond the Gates set up a huge cliffhanger and then took a week off, we feel you. As Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers once sang, the waiting is the hardest part. But we've got the scoop on exactly what's going to happen next, including how Chelsea's nightmare ends. But be warned, stop reading now if you don't want to know how Chelsea and Allison's twisted tale ends. Still here? Then away we go. Rest assured, Chelsea will not be done in by her bride kidnapper, although Allison declared, in true stalker fashion, "If I can't have you, nobody will." It looks as if the loon's attempt to cut up her hostage with that frosting-tipped knife will be for naught. The original promo teasing the week of September 8th, which is when the show returns after a week of reruns, barely teased the Allison-Chelsea showdown. Instead, it focused on things like Nicole giving Ted a hand and Leslie breaking down in tears. But a new promo which aired Monday reveals exactly how things turn out for Allison, who is seen in police custody. But as the ominous voiceover suggests that what comes next will be even crazier, Duprees family patriarch asks himself, "Dear God!" While we'll have to wait until next week to see how things play out, we can at least take comfort in the promo scene showing a joyous Anita embracing the grandchild she feared might be lost forever. Beyond the Gates, spoilers suggest that after 5 days of reruns, the week of September 8 to 12 will be explosive, as Chelsea Hamilton will be rescued from her hostage situation. With that said, it looks like the damage could be done where her mental health is concerned. Just a kidnapping could trigger anyone's trauma, but Allison did play a ton of mind games on the social media influencer and purse designer during the entire ordeal. The BTG preview video opens with a voiceover that says, "She survived a nightmare," as a scene of Allison attacking Chelsea with a knife from last week is shown. As the promo progresses, Chelsea is shown safe and sound, getting a hug from Anita Duprees, as the grandmother exclaims, very emotionally, "Oh, thank God, our prayers are answered." As the Beyond the Gates promo goes on, the voiceover is heard continuing with, "But can she survive what's next?" As the scenes shift, Allison is shown sitting down in a chair at the police station with that odd wide-eyed look she gives, as Jacob Hawthorne is next to her, and Dr. Madison Montgomery and Chelsea face her stalker. Madison asks Chelsea, "Baby, are you all right?" Chelsea looks utterly terrified as she stares down at Allison. Will Chelsea be okay? She may need to talk to someone, so it's a good thing her Aunt Nicole Richardson is a therapist. As the BTG preview video comes to a close, Vernon Duprees is shown at. Both Kat and Vernon look shocked. So what kind of error in judgment have they made? Beyond the Gates, spoilers note that this may have to do with Chelsea, and it sounds like the Duprees family won't exactly follow police protocol when rescuing her. So could Allison walk away from this mess without facing any legal repercussions? From the very first episode of Beyond the Gates, Danny Duprees proved to be a woman of her passions, volatile, unfiltered, and scathing. While the character could have continued to be written that way, the new soap promptly began fleshing Danny out, showing that there's a wellspring of vulnerability under all that sass. Daughter Chelsea's kidnapping brought out every single true color Danny likes to keep hidden, and that's why portrayer Carla Mosley is Soap Central's Performer of the Week. Danny was ready to party as the seconds ticked away toward Chelsea's big purse launch with Kat. But when the first half of Chelsea Kat turned out to be a no-show, Danny's enthusiasm drained out of her more the longer Chelsea was silent. Ms. Duprees showed confusion and the beginnings of overwhelm as she realized that finding Chelsea's apparent kidnapper would indeed be like searching for the proverbial needle in a haystack, with no less than 2 million fans following her influencer daughter. But the almost certainty of Allison being the abductor didn't make Danny feel any better. And though she tried to show a brave face to Madison, Chelsea's worried girlfriend, Danny's mask came off as soon as Madison was out of the room. So dumbstruck by her daughter's disappearance was Danny that she didn't even notice that ex-husband/current obsession Bill was holding her hand tightly during the live stream in which the parents pleaded for their girl's return. She was desperate and determined as she implored Bill to do what you do in terms of tasking the fixer with finding their daughter, though Danny turned right around and collapsed in the man's arms, again too mired in her grief to even consider that the tragedy might be bringing them closer. Danny looked like death warmed over the next morning, refusing to eat or sleep until Chelsea was home safe. Again, she tried to keep it together, but in the comparative safety of Andre's presence, Mosley ramped up Danny's increasing loss of control, stopping just short of letting the mom lose herself in her spiral. Danny caught herself and grabbed onto an invisible life raft, acknowledging the need to stay calm. Her resolve was only momentary, however, and she allowed herself to give over to guttural, ugly crying, unashamed in her anguish. With only so much fight left in her, Danny shared her family's outrage when they received the ill-timed news that Bill was representing Pariah Ted in his divorce from Nicole. While ordinarily such a revelation would have inspired a barrage of put-downs and grievances from the ex-Mrs. Hamilton, she tiredly yet firmly let Bill know that he owed it to Nicole to get to work, preventing Leslie from taking up residence across the street from her parents. Mosley replaced Danny's usual fire with a barely flickering light, yet underneath Danny's exhaustion, her loyalty to her sister still shone through. We rarely get the full range of Danny's emotions in 1 week, but Mosley deftly navigated from one to the other, reminding us that Danny Dupree is not just a wisecracking ex-wife with an axe to grind, but quite the vulnerable lady with as many soft spots as she has designer shoes. Congratulations to Carla Mosley for another 5 Beyond the Gate spoilers suggest that best friends and cousins Chelsea Hamilton and Catherine "Cat" Richardson were on the cusp of launching their own purse brand called Chelsea Cat. That is, before Chelsea was kidnapped by her ex-girlfriend/stalker, Allison. With that said, it won't be long before Chelsea's rescued, and Chelsea Cat can replan their launch event to celebrate their purse brand. Interestingly enough, the CBS soap has launched a real-life Chelsea Cat purse where fans can snag a signature clutch of their very own. Beyond the Gates posted a video on their Instagram featuring Ronnie Rose Mantilla and Colby Muhammad, talking about how viewers can buy a Chelsea Cat purse. The video starts with Ronnie Rose asking Colby if she's ready, and Muhammad notes, "I was born ready." Mantilla gives fans 3 reasons they want a Chelsea Cat purse of their own, stating it's because they are hot. The 2 ladies then go into details about the features of the product. There are 2 two-tone designs to choose from with Lux Gold hardware, that and a Chelsea Cat emblem with the company name on it, noting S 2025. The caption on the IG post reads, "Run, don't walk to get your very own Chelsea Cat bag. Available September 29th. Link in bio. #Beyond the Gates. #fashion handbag. #TV show. #soap opera." The video appears on the Beyond the Gates IG handle and tagged Mantilla Muhammad, as well as F&W Style. In fact, Alexandria, the founder of luxury handbag brand, posted a video on. They are made from soft vegan leather, have a denim look/hot pink interior, and gold accents. Each bag sells for $139 and will be available for fans to purchase as of Monday, September 29th on F&W's website at the following link, www.fwstyle.com/collections/Chelsea Cat. Bad news for Beyond the Gates fans. The popular new CBS soap opera is actually going off the air for a week, and the network will be airing reruns during the BTG time slots. While some soaps are not going to be airing due to Labor Day on Monday, September 1st, they are slated to return with new episodes on Tuesday. Beyond the Gates, on the other hand, is taking an entire week off and will return with new. Beyond the Gates will re-air episodes 45 to 49, which was the culmination of the Ted and Nicole wedding anniversary Leslie/Dana reveal. Seeing as how Beyond the Gates is such a new show, the soap opera is going to have to keep taking days off so that they don't run out of new episodes before the end of the year. This is actually the second time CBS has done this to the daytime TV lineup. Back in July 2025, BTG took a whole week off for 4th of July and aired repeat episodes for 5 days straight. TPTB at the network are also going to have to play with the schedule to make sure the holiday episodes they filmed don't air too early. Who wants to watch the Dupree family eat Thanksgiving dinner 2 weeks before the actual holiday? If you are concerned about your favorite new daytime TV soap because the episodes are repeats, have no fear. Beyond the Gates is scheduled to return with new episodes on September. When the NAACP series returns, we will learn Chelsea's fate and see what kind of drama Leslie stirs up next. Are you a fan of Beyond the Gates on CBS? A new BTG promo brings up new questions. Beyond the Gates is in the middle of another repeat week. As Soap Hub reported, CBS is having a week of reruns focusing on the Eva and Leslie reveal that blew up Ted and Nicole's anniversary party. The show may be on a new episode break, but CBS is promoting its return like crazy. In fact, a recent promo caused a frenzy as two major cliffhangers were revealed. Before the hiatus, Psycho Allison was holding Chelsea hostage. The two were entangled in a fight as Chelsea was fighting off a knife-wielding Allison. After the cliffhanger, a promo for the return week showed fans a few different teases, including Kat and Jacob potentially getting in an accident. We also saw Chelsea battling her stalker, Allison. However, a newly released BTG teaser seems to have spoiled what happens between the two women. The new video has a voiceover saying she survived a nightmare, before a flip of the scene shows Allison looking crazier than ever in an orange jumpsuit in police custody. Chelsea stares down her kidnapper as a voiceover warns that this may not be the end. A flip of the scene features Vernon saying, "Dear God, what have we done?" The clip BTG doesn't just spoil the Chelsea and Allison drama, but also reveals that Kat is fine following the maybe accident. Kat stands next to Vernon as he makes his big declaration about the family's actions. All signs point to a network mix-up. The last preview video was likely intended to run sometime next week, rather than this week. Beyond the Gates spoilers hint that the good news is that Chelsea Hamilton will be rescued. However, the bad news is that it seems the Dupree family may have made a huge mistake where Allison is concerned. The BTG promo opens up with a voiceover that states, "She survived a nightmare," as a clip of Allison attacking Chelsea with a knife in the cabin from this past week is shown. As the scenes shift, the next clip is of Chelsea getting a hug from her grandmother, Anita Dupree, as the emotional Dupree matriarch exclaims, "Oh, thank God, our prayers are answered." A relieved Bill Hamilton can be seen in the background. As the preview progresses, the voiceover states, "But can she survive what's next?" While a scene is shown at the police station, with Allison staring a traumatized Chelsea down as Jacob Hawthorne looks on, and a concerned Dr. Madison Montgomery asks. After Madison asks Chelsea if she's okay, a close-up of Allison's unhinged face is revealed, and it's clear that despite being in police custody, Chelsea's ex-gal pal/stalker may continue to haunt her. But is there more to this? The final clip in the Beyond the Gates promo video for the week of September 8th shows a scene with Vernon Dupree and Catherine "Kat" Richardson in the middle of the Dupree mansion, looking stunned as the family's patriarch exclaims, sadly, "What have we done?" Will the Dupree family do something during Chelsea's rescue that causes Allison to get off on kidnapping Chelsea? Will she be released from police custody due to a minor stipulation? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Sept 15, 2025. See Dr. Ted Richardson. As we do on Early Edition Day, we start with what's coming the rest of this week, and then we dive into spoilers for next week. On Thursday, August 28th, we are going to pick back up with Jacob Hawthorne and Catherine "Kat" Richardson getting a big lead. The Hardy Boy detective and Fancy Drew may have an address to Allison's creepy cabin in the woods. I'm only assuming that it's out there in the woods because Chelsea Hamilton keeps shouting and nobody's coming. That comes thanks to Joey Armstrong, the gangster, which is thanks to Martin Richardson, who went over to the casino to see him and pledged an open-ended favor. Joey has helped do a lot of cleanup work for the Duprees, but as he said, he's tired of it being one-sided. He doesn't really need anything in particular right now, but having a congressman in your pocket for a future favor is a pretty good deal. Meanwhile, on Thursday, Derek Baldwin has a heart-to-heart with Ashley Morgan. She was just at the Dupree house to offer some support, And she told Andre Richardson that it's good that the two of them didn't get together because Danny Dupree needs Andre right now, and Derek needs Ashley right now. He is supposed to be leaving the hospital pretty soon in a wheelchair. He's going to need intensive physical therapy. It looks like Ashley is going to stick by his side. I'm still wondering if she's going to move him into her place so she can help take care of him. We all know men hate to be in a position where they're vulnerable and have to be taken care of. So lots more angst coming from Derek. Plus, there are wedding vows exchanged by an unlikely couple on Thursday. I think it's going to be Allison terrorizing Chelsea into saying vows. This plot is so twisted. I mean, how often, if ever, on a soap opera do we see what we're seeing now? Yes, women stalk people, but usually it's men. Allison is back, bunny boiling crazy, obsessed with Chelsea, tried to rape her, has her handcuffed, and I totally believe Allison is going to terrorize Chelsea into saying wedding vows. Maybe she scares her so badly that Chelsea agrees to marry her. Obviously, it won't be legal or anything, but just to keep her from hurting her. We've also got on Thursday, Vanessa McBride bringing some information to the Dupree family. I think it's an update on Leslie. Bill Hamilton carried her out of the Dupree mansion after she brought her not-so-sympathetic cactus there. Leslie is telling Ted, Vanessa, and Eva Thomas this week that she needs to stake her claim on Fairmont Crest ASAP. The Duprees do not need Leslie's drama right now, though, but they're going to get it whether they want it or not. I'm sure they won't be happy to hear anything from Vanessa about her. On Friday, August 29th, we've got Ted making an offer to Leslie. That's very tempting. What we know is she's got this pile of money from the trust that Anita Dupree set up for her mom, Barbara. But Leslie isn't going to be able to bully her way into being accepted in Fairmont Crest Society. I do think Ted might offer to smooth the way. He doesn't want her there, but she is there. If Leslie can be taught to take it down about 20 notches, it's going to make life better on the Duprees, on Dr. Nicole Dupree Richardson, on Eva, and on Ted himself. I feel like that might be the kind of proposition he might make to be her high society tutor, something like that. We've also got Thomas Tom Navarro offering Eva some help. Their unlikely friendship continues. I just feel like Tomas and Eva are a much better pairing than Kat. Nicole upsets Martin with an update, and I'm assuming it's about Chelsea. I wonder if that address he got from Joey is going to wind up to be a dead end. That would be devastating, because that was the only lead they really had. Plus, kidnapper Allison makes yet another bizarre demand of Chelsea. This girl is cray-cray. She's gorgeous, though. She has those big anime eyes. I do think that Chelsea should be able to kick her ass, though, because Allison looks like she weighs, dripping wet, maybe 80 plubs, and Chelsea's taller and has those self-defense skills. So I feel like she just needs to throw her through the window or something. Now let's talk about the week of September 1st through the 5th. Monday, September 1st, is Labor Day. I'm kind of expecting a rerun, so that's what I'm expecting. It'd be nice if it was new. We'll know more when the official weekly full roster of spoilers comes out later this week. Leslie continues to take joy in the Duprees' latest family crisis next week, while she is determined to force her way into the inner circle of Fairmont Crest High Society. I don't think Leslie has ever been in a situation where she couldn't bull in a china shop her way through it. But let's be real, when Haley Lawson tried to push her way into Fairmont Crest, she got slapped and snubbed and cold-shouldered, so I think Leslie should be expecting similar treatment, although she will be much more vocal about it than Haley. But if she's too vocal, she'll just be banned from the club. Ted and Eva are increasingly worried about Leslie's ongoing antics rebounding back onto them. So, they're going to do everything they can to tamp down her insanity, but that seems like a lost cause. Kat may apply pressure to Jacob to continue to dig up info to arrest Leslie, but I do think Anita is going to say that Kat's got to back off of that, just like she told everybody else. Just leave it alone. The money is hers. We just have to deal with this. Not that they've ever actually made it to a bed. It's usually a desk or a poker table or the bar. Tomas continues his friendship with Eva. But I wonder how long until Kat gives up and cuts him loose, because she thinks Tomas is a dud in the sack and wants to try her luck with a new man. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.